The massive holographic display flickered with alien fleet signatures, casting an eerie blue light across the underground command center. J. Park watched the incoming Galactic Council armada with a calm that belied the tension crackling through the room. Earth had been monitoring the alien approach for months. Not through primitive radar or satellite tracking, but through a complex network of quantum sensors strategically placed throughout the solar system. The aliens believed humanity was unaware, unprepared, and vulnerable. They were catastrophically wrong. Lieutenant Yoon Kim's fingers danced across quantum interface panels, her movements precise and calculated. She had spent years preparing for this moment, studying alien communication protocols, war strategies, and technological signatures. The Galactic Council's fleet approached with the arrogance of predators certain of their impending victory. "Incoming transmission," a soft computer voice announced. The holographic display shifted, revealing a grotesque alien representative. Its multiple eyes blinked independently, tentacle-like appendages moving with an unsettling rhythm. The creature spoke in a language that would have been incomprehensible to humans just decades ago, but now translated perfectly through advanced linguistic algorithms. "People of Earth," the alien's voice resonated, "your planet has been selected for systematic integration. Resistance is not just futile, but mathematically impossible." J. Park didn't move. Didn't blink. His hand rested casually near a seemingly innocuous control panel. What the aliens didn't know was that humanity had been preparing for this moment for centuries. Not through military might alone, but through a combination of technological innovation, strategic planning, and a deep, burning determination to survive. Beneath the surface of multiple continents, massive underground facilities hummed with energy. Technological marvels that merged quantum computing, advanced metallurgy, and engineering principles far beyond what the Galactic Council could comprehend were coming to life. The alien transmission continued, detailing the terms of Earth's surrender. Standard protocol for a species they considered primitive and technologically infantile. Yoon's monitor tracked multiple data streams simultaneously. Weapon systems, energy signatures, communication frequencies, everything was being analyzed in microseconds. Her team had spent decades developing algorithms that could predict alien technological responses with near-perfect accuracy. "They believe we're helpless," Jay whispered, a slight smile crossing his face. The first signs of Earth's true capabilities would come as a complete shock. Hidden satellite networks, quantum-entangled communication systems, and dormant technological infrastructure were moments away from activation. In the Arctic, massive underground hangars began to shift. In the Gobi Desert, ancient technological complexes stirred. Beneath the Pacific Ocean, massive energy generators started to pulse with a rhythm that would soon shake the foundations of galactic politics. The alien representative continued its monotonous speech, unaware that each word was being dissected, analyzed, and used to fine-tune humanity's response. J. Park pressed a single button. Throughout Earth, systems that had been carefully hidden for generations began to activate. Not with the loud, dramatic explosions of old science fiction movies, but with a quiet, precise efficiency that spoke of decades of meticulous planning. The Galactic Council had made a fundamental mistake. They saw humanity as a young, chaotic species. What they failed to understand was the depth of human resilience, the capacity for innovation, and the unbreakable spirit that had driven humans to explore, survive, and evolve. "Transmission response prepared," Yoon announced, her voice steady. The first wave of humanity's true technological might was about to be revealed. Not as a desperate defense, but as a calculated, strategic unveiling that would redefine the galaxy's understanding of human potential. The alien transmission continued, its arrogance a testament to its own impending downfall. Earth was ready. Humanity was waiting. And the galaxy was about to change forever. The ground beneath the Gobi Desert trembled with a low, steady vibration. Sung-ho watched from the primary control room as massive steel doors, hidden beneath layers of rock and advanced camouflage technology, began to slide open. These were not ordinary doors, but quantum-adaptive barriers that had remained sealed for generations. Massive mechanical arms emerged first, each moving with a precision that seemed almost alive. They were not just mechanical, they were a perfect fusion of ancient engineering and quantum-level technology. Decades of secret research, hidden from the Galactic Council's surveillance, were about to be revealed. The first starship rose slowly. It wasn't sleek or angular like typical science fiction designs. Instead, it looked like something between an ancient war machine and a technological marvel. Its hull was composed of adaptive materials that could change molecular structure in milliseconds, making traditional weapons essentially useless. Activation sequence confirmed, a computer voice announced, its tone calm and emotionless. Surrounding Sung Ho, technicians monitored hundreds of screens. Each display showed different sections of hidden technological complexes spread across multiple continents. The Arctic facility was already bringing its first fleet online. Underground complexes in South America and Central Asia were preparing similar launches. This wasn't just a military response. It was humanity's carefully constructed insurance policy, built over centuries of secret preparation. The starship, named Eternal Guardian, continued its ascent. Its exterior looked almost organic, with surface patterns that could reconfigure based on environmental conditions. Quantum-entangled communication systems were already establishing connections with other hidden facilities. Sung Ho remembered the stories passed down through generations. How humanity had discovered remnants of advanced technologies during archaeological expeditions. How secret research teams had slowly deciphered and rebuilt these technologies, keeping them hidden from global governments and potential alien threats. Outside the facility, desert winds continued to blow. Nothing suggested the massive technological awakening happening beneath the surface. The ship's engines didn't roar or emit traditional exhaust. Instead, they generated a silent quantum field that allowed near-instantaneous movement across vast distances. Traditional propulsion was now a relic of primitive space exploration. Primary systems online, another technician reported. Inside the Eternal Guardian, automated systems began their initialization sequences. Weapon systems that could neutralize entire fleets with a single quantum pulse were being calibrated. Defense mechanisms that could manipulate spatial-temporal fields were coming to life. The Galactic Council believed humanity was a young, fragmented species. They had no idea about the technological treasures hidden beneath Earth's surface. Each starship was more than a weapon, it was a testament to human adaptability, innovation, and survival instinct. More ships began to rise. Not hundreds, but thousands. Each unique, each with capabilities that would redefine interstellar conflict. They emerged from locations nobody would suspect: desert regions, polar zones, deep ocean floors. Sung Ho's fingers moved across holographic interfaces, coordinating the massive launch. Years of preparation were coming to fruition. Generations of scientists, engineers, and strategists had worked in absolute secrecy to prepare this moment. The first starships began to form complex geometric formations in the upper atmosphere. Their movement was synchronized with mathematical precision, demonstrating capabilities far beyond what any alien civilization had anticipated. All systems optimal, the computer confirmed. As the Eternal Guardian and its companion ships continued their ascent, something became clear: this was not just a defensive maneuver. This was a declaration. Humanity was announcing its presence in the galactic stage, not as a victim, but as a force to be reckoned with. The Gobi Desert remained silent. To any external observer, nothing extraordinary had happened. But above the planet, a technological revolution was taking shape, quiet, precise, and absolutely devastating. The galaxy was about to learn a crucial lesson about human potential. The Galactic Council's fleet spread across the star system like an intricate web of metallic structures, each ship believing in its technological superiority. They had no idea that humanity's counteroffensive was already in motion. Hyunwoo sat in the central command station, his hands moving across holographic interfaces with surgical precision. Each movement calculated multiple attack vectors simultaneously. The human fleet wasn't just going to defend, they were going to systematically dismantle the alien offensive. Target their communication relays, he instructed the tactical team. The first wave of human ships moved like liquid mercury. They didn't follow traditional military engagement protocols. Instead, they exploited quantum communication gaps, striking precisely where the alien fleet least expected. 3 alien communication stations went dark within milliseconds. Not destroyed, but completely neutralized through advanced technological interference. The Galactic Council's communication network began to fracture. Quantum adaptive weaponry mounted on human ships could change molecular frequencies faster than the alien defensive systems could respond. Each attack was a symphony of technological innovation, turning traditional warfare into an art form. Lieutenant Kim tracked the alien fleet's response patterns. They were predictable, which made them vulnerable. Centuries of studying alien technological signatures had prepared humanity for this exact moment. In the outer solar system, human stealth ships began positioning themselves. These weren't just military vessels, they were technological platforms capable of adapting to any combat scenario within microseconds. The alien fleet commanders watched in growing confusion. Their tactical displays showed impossible scenarios. Human ships appeared and disappeared, struck and retreated, all without following any recognizable combat strategy. "They're not fighting like a unified military," one alien commander noted, "they're fighting like a living, thinking organism." And that was precisely the point. Humanity's technological evolution had reached a stage where individual ships could make complex decisions independently, while simultaneously connecting through a quantum network that allowed instant strategic adjustments. Hyunwoo's team wasn't just controlling ships. They were guiding a technological ecosystem that could think, adapt, and respond faster than any centralized command structure. The first major alien battleship suddenly found its shield harmonics completely disrupted. Not destroyed, but rendered completely ineffective. Quantum pulses from human ships created interference patterns that made traditional defensive technologies obsolete. Another alien communications hub went offline. Then another. The Galactic Council's initial confidence was rapidly transforming into confusion, then fear. Human ships moved through space like intelligent predators. No wasted movement, no unnecessary energy expenditure. Each action was a calculated response designed to maximize strategic advantage. The alien fleets started to fragment. Their unified attack formation was collapsing under the weight of humanity's unconventional warfare tactics. "They don't understand our strategy," Hyunwoo said quietly, watching the holographic displays. "Because we don't have a strategy. We have an adaptive response." Quantum entangled communication systems allowed human ships to share tactical information faster than light itself. What looked like random movements were actually a complex, living network of technological warfare. 3 more alien squadrons found themselves caught in technological traps. Their systems were being systematically analyzed, their weaknesses identified and exploited within seconds. The counteroffensive wasn't just about winning a battle. It was about sending a message: humanity was no longer a species to be conquered. They were a technological force that could reshape galactic dynamics. As the battle continued, one thing became crystal clear. The Galactic Council had made a fatal mistake. They had underestimated not just human technology, but human potential. The first phase of the counteroffensive was complete. And humanity was just getting started. The communication chamber hummed with quiet intensity. Ambassador Ji-Eun Park stood perfectly still, her posture reflecting centuries of diplomatic training compressed into this single, critical moment. The Galactic Council's communication network, once a symbol of their technological superiority, now served as a conduit for humanity's most potent weapon: psychological warfare. Her message would be transmitted across thousands of alien languages, communication frequencies, and quantum communication channels. Each word was carefully constructed, not just as a message, but as a psychological trigger designed to unsettle the alien civilizations. "Your assumption of our weakness is your fatal miscalculation," she began, her voice carrying a calm that felt more threatening than any direct military challenge. Behind her, communication specialists monitored multiple quantum-entangled transmission systems. They weren't just sending a message, they were analyzing every potential alien psychological response in real time. The transmission revealed carefully selected historical records. Glimpses of human survival through impossible scenarios. Documented instances of technological leaps that defied conventional scientific understanding. Moments where humanity transformed challenges into opportunities. Each alien civilization receiving the transmission would see something different. Their own cultural filters would interpret the message through their unique psychological frameworks, creating a multi-layered psychological assault. For the militaristic alien races, the message highlighted human warfare adaptability. For technological societies, it showcased humanity's rapid innovation. For diplomatic civilizations, it demonstrated complex strategic thinking. The message wasn't just communication. It was a weapon. Quantum algorithms tracked the psychological impact in microseconds. Alien communication networks began showing signs of internal stress. Some civilizations within the Galactic Council started questioning their collective decision to attack Earth. "We are not requesting mercy," Ji-un continued. "We are declaring our existence." The transmission contained subtle technological signatures that would cause mild cognitive dissonance among alien communication receivers. Not enough to cause permanent damage, but sufficient to create uncertainty and confusion. Alien fleet commanders started receiving conflicting information. Their communication networks, once considered impenetrable, now seemed vulnerable. The psychological foundation of their military strategy was crumbling. Some alien civilizations began internal debates. Others started questioning their leadership. A few even considered withdrawing from the collective attack on Earth. Ji-un's message wasn't just words. It was a calculated psychological operation designed to create maximum internal confusion within the Galactic Council. Communication specialists monitored alien response patterns. Each reaction was analyzed, recorded, and used to further refine the psychological strategy. The transmission lasted exactly 7 minutes and 32 seconds. Not a moment more, not a moment less. Precision was key in psychological warfare. When the transmission ended, the communication chamber remained silent. But the quantum communication networks were anything but quiet. Alien civilizations were now engaged in intense internal discussions, their previous unity completely fractured. Humanity had transformed psychological warfare into a complex, multi-dimensional strategy that went far beyond traditional communication techniques. The Galactic Council had expected a militaristic response. Instead, they received a psychological masterpiece that challenged their most fundamental understanding of conflict. Ambassador Ji-un Park allowed herself the slightest smile. The first phase of psychological warfare was complete. And humanity was just beginning to demonstrate its true potential. The alien civilizations would never be the same again. The final confrontation unfolded like a perfectly choreographed dance of technological supremacy. Admiral Dong-hyuk Kim stood on the bridge of the flagship Eternal Guardian, watching as humanity's fleet systematically dismantled the Galactic Council's most powerful battle groups. Space itself seemed to bend around human ships. Traditional weapon systems became obsolete as quantum adaptive technologies transformed every engagement into a complex mathematical equation of survival and strategy. One by one, alien motherships began to surrender. Not through conventional communication, but through quantum encrypted signals that spoke volumes about their complete technological defeat. The human fleet moved with an intelligence that transcended traditional military tactics. Each ship operated as both an individual unit and part of a larger, living technological organism. They anticipated alien movements before the alien commanders could even conceive of them. Massive energy fields surrounded critical human ships, not just as defensive mechanisms, but as adaptive environments that could reconfigure molecular structures in milliseconds. Alien weapons simply dissolved upon contact, their energy redirected and neutralized. Complete system dominance achieved, the ship's AI announced, its voice devoid of emotion but loaded with historic significance. Across multiple star systems, human ships were rewriting the fundamental rules of space combat. They weren't just fighting, they were demonstrating a level of technological evolution that the Galactic Council had never imagined possible. Admiral Kim watched as the last major alien battle group began its surrender sequence. Their massive ships, once considered invincible, now looked like outdated machinery compared to humanity's quantum adaptive fleet. The psychological impact was immediate and devastating. Alien civilizations that had gathered to witness Earth's destruction were now witnessing something entirely different, the birth of a new galactic power. Communication networks across the galaxy carried images of human technological superiority. Each transmission showed ships that could manipulate spacetime, weapons that could neutralize entire fleets without firing a single traditional projectile. Smaller alien civilizations began sending diplomatic communications. Not messages of surrender, but careful requests for potential future collaborations. They recognized that humanity was no longer a species to be conquered, but a civilization to be understood. The Eternal Guardian's bridge remained calm. No celebrations, no dramatic speeches. Just a quiet acknowledgement of a fundamental shift in galactic dynamics. Quantum data streams showed the complete collapse of the Galactic Council's unified command structure. Their centuries-old political and military alliances were crumbling under the weight of humanity's unexpected technological leap. Conflict resolution phase complete, the ship's AI reported. Admiral Kim understood the deeper significance. This wasn't just a military victory. It was a declaration of humanity's potential. Centuries of hidden technological development, careful preparation, and adaptive thinking had culminated in this moment. Alien civilizations that had viewed humans as primitive now saw them as the most significant technological threat in galactic history. Not through brute force, but through intelligent, adaptive capabilities that redefined the understanding of technological evolution. The human fleet began strategic repositioning. Not as a conquering force, but as a new balancing element in galactic politics. Each movement calculated, each action carrying profound diplomatic implications. Quantum communication channels began transmitting humanity's first official galactic address. Not a message of dominance, but a complex communication that suggested potential collaborative futures. The stars themselves seemed to pause, witnessing a species transition from a potential victim to a dominant galactic civilization in a matter of hours. Admiral Dong-hyuk Kim looked out into the infinite darkness of space. Humanity had not just survived. They had transformed the very understanding of technological potential. The Galactic Council's attack had been their fatal mistake. And humanity's ascension was complete.